Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rag-venturediaries, the home of outdoor challenge and adventure. Today we're off to see a man about a van. We're going to visit Vanology Conversions. Hopefully they'll let me do a bit of filming while I'm there. Let's go. I'm here with Stu at Vanology Conversions. We've been going through the spec sheet and now we're going to get out into the workshop and we're going to see various things. He's going to educate me on what I've spec'd.
Yeah, he's got lots of questions, and sometimes it's great when a customer can visit because we can just take them out into the workshop and show them rather than try to explain it.
Yeah, so I'm in Stu's capable hands. Come and join us.
Access 50 amp DC to DC. It's fairly new from Victron. Very little heat produced, so there's no heat sink on the rear of this. Whereas if you look at the MPPT, it's got a heat sink, so that makes this both very small but also high efficiency. Because it's not producing high heat, then you get the majority of your 50 amps in charging, whereas on like the older irons, the hotter they got, the less charging you got from it.
Awesome, and that's what I'm having.
Yes?
Yeah, excellent. Love it.
You got standards 230 consumer unit, that's a PV solar isolator. There's a 12 volt isolator to go here. You got all your mega fuses here that go off to solar, DC to DC, 12 volts. Negative bus bar, and then your actual 12 volt fuses there, and that will go to all your different circuits inside the van. So because he's got a grey carpet and the electric board is in there, that's why the electric board is grey. But if it was darker, I'd have probably gone with a black. So we do it to suit. I can also do it on furniture board. We can do it on the hex ply boards, which is what's happening with the van next door. So it'd be really nice.
Yeah, awesome.
Anyway, but from these two, because this is the head end, there's no wall cupboard on this side, but everything else is usually in a wall cupboard, so you don't see it. But yeah, other than that, you've got a choice of different laminates and fabrics, and world's your oyster, really.
Yeah, thank you.
He's come in to us, customer started it, and maybe a little bit out of his depth now. He's a bit older, struggling, so he's asked us to finish it. He's insulated it in the way like we used to do it, with the PIR board, but we've changed our way, which I'll show you in a second. We then do 12mm ply strips, so we cut all these. These will follow the contour of the van a lot nicer rather than creating, you know, just straight pieces where you're getting a lot of void space behind the battens.
Yeah.
So we frame the windows, create reveals so we can get a nice finish on those later. We did the ceiling, customer did all the windows and skylights. Customer also did all the electrics, which are down here. But to be honest, I have to strip half of it out and redo it. But yeah, that's now all safe. He'd also done all this wiring, which again I ripped half of that out and if I say half of it, I ripped all of that out and redone it. But yeah, this is coming towards the end of prep stage now, so he's got ply here ready to go on this one. We got to ply this side, tongue and groove on the window here. And this is then ready for furniture building.
So the subject that we spoke about referenced my insulation.
Yes.
Using more of a winterized approach because of the cold climates I'm going to.
Yes, I mean this would have been adequate, but the way we now do it, we get a higher R value, so it's better insulation.
Yeah.
It helps improve less condensation on the van steel as well. So I'll show you.
Awesome. Another great result.
Going back to insulation, so this is how we've been doing it now for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
All our vans now have on the steel, if you just come in to be here, you'll see it's got a 7mm liner on the actual steel.
Yeah.
Right, and that's closed cell, so it's water repellent. And then we put a fleece liner on top.
Yeah.
The whole van is done like that. And I said, you get better R value with insulation. You also get a better quality of sound deadening through your walls and ceiling, because you can imagine a solid PIR board, they said they do the job, but they're solid, so it resonates sound, whereas this is going to soak it up a lot better than PIR board.
Yeah, sure.
So this is the only way we now insulate the vans.
Vanology standard insulation approach. Yeah.
Now going back to what we were talking about earlier about solar panels and them coming through the ceiling.
Yeah.
If you look over here, I got two coming through there.
Using traditional roofing screws.
Yeah, traditional roofing screws with CT1s that sat on a bed of CT1.
Yeah.
And we put 2mm spacers under there because CT1 is actually more efficient at 2mm.
Yeah.
So we keep the 2mm, and that is solid. And reason we haven't done the ceiling is because we've been leak testing it, because obviously I've got skylights in here, I've got a solar panel up on here, I've got a Starlink I'm fitting tomorrow. That was a noisy wind, wasn't it?
Storm AON kicking off, shaking us around.
I've got aux beam lighting on the rear back here, so I've got the mount for the aux beam, and I've also got the cables coming through, so I've got 4 holes just in the rear. But again, look, I've sealed both inside and outside.
So we are going to have, for my van, a subsequent conversation on electrical, and in that conversation we'll probably discuss some rear external lighting and possibly discuss reversing camera and stuff like that. If I can get the van spec'd with that on, I will, but we can discuss that, can't we?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Our wind is proper kicking up, isn't it?
So you've mounted aux beam on the rear of your van.
So I did have one light bar, but my rear view camera sticks up, so I'd have had to put it off center. It looks stupid just having one, so I haven't used it, and I bought 2 smaller ones that are mounted at the rear. I got a big one that's mounted at the front, which I've tested and is phenomenal. It's so good. The light you get is just brilliant. So if I'm off grid and we're in a forestry or something like that, like, we can just see clearly. And it's nice high level as well, so if there's any low branches coming down, I'm going to see them. And then we've also going to be mounting 2 bonnet lights that have got a yellowy orange lens on them, and you use that for like snow and fog. So
we'll have that conversation then a bit later on down the line.
Because absolutely.
For my use, I think some decent external lighting will be pretty sweet, won't it?
It's like, we're going for quite a grungy look on it. So this is my personal van, so we're going for quite a grungy look. So we've got all that exterior lighting. It's had a respray of alloys. It's going to have the mule wheel carrier. We are putting an awning on, but like everything as well on my roof is black. So I've gone for the black lenses on the Max fan. We got the all black solar panel. We even bought black brackets for the solar panel. The mounting kit for the Starlink I got in black. My awning will be black, so it's all black.
Do you know what, as you go through your van build, right, it's clearly ahead of mine, I'm going to be saying to you, Stu, I want that as well, I want that as well, I want that as well. So it's really good, and I'll be able to come up and see how you're getting on with it as well.
But also in the Sprinter, right, you get a lot of fascia mounted electrical cables, and they're like these really big ugly black plastic trims, and I had to cut them and create hundreds of welds which are all tied up neatly in there, and we've managed to sink it all into the D pillar, all into this wall. The only place we couldn't sink it was this section here, but originally that even came out about that far. So we've got it down to that. We will create another box section to protect it once it's all finished being insulated.
But even so, you've got that adhered quite nicely, you know.
That's solid. As I said, we use expanding foam. Is a phenomenal, quick, easy, it's fast drying, it's brilliant for holding stuff there. Like, I try and pull that off now,
and I can see by the way that's done, whatever boxing or surface is on top of that, you're not gonna have any kind of like cutting issues with that, or that's pretty cool. You got the bolts coming through for the sliding door top track.
But again, it's just with expanding foam, if people are going to use it, use it for what you need it to, and use it sparingly, because if you do use too much, it can push out the panels. So we use it more of a fixing. The other time I'll also use it is, say for example, like this cable here now, when I'm driving, right,
that could rattle,
that could be rattling. So what I will do later on is these will be put up with these kind of pads, and I'll also do some expanding foam on that, and it's purely to hold it, because it's a phenomenal grip on this stuff. Like, that's not going nowhere, and I'm giving that a pretty good tug.
But the devil's in the detail, and it's these little bits of attention to detail,
it's worth it.
That's worth it, and make the van extra special, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So there you are, folks. You can see the quality of the Vanology work here, looking good. I'm looking forward to my van. Yes. So here we are, folks. We've been through all our paperwork up here at Vanology and had a cracking time. I'm off back down the road now. All it remains for me to say is thanks to Stu. It's been awesome. Cheers, Stu.
It's no problem, mate. No problem at all. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.